Hello and welcome to another episode with Real Talk with KT. Well, I want to talk to you today a little bit about how I overcame my depression. I don't claim it anymore that it's my depression. Did you hear what I said? So if you're chronically ill with depression, don't claim it and don't speak it that it's yours, because it's not yours. It is from the enemy. It is not from God. Well, a lot of life challenges, heartbreak, divorce, death, suicide, it can all cause depression. And I know with me, it was back in 1992 when I had decided that I needed to go to the doctor. I was going through a divorce that I didn't want. And it broke my heart. It simply broke my heart. And it broke my heart for years, actually. And you know what? I can honestly say there is life after depression. But one of the things that I did was I got into a really good counseling program for depression. That's one thing you need to know. People don't realize that people that are in depression or coming out of depression, they need support. That's why we hear a lot about suicides and this one took their life and that one took their life. Well, guess what? You're not going to take your life because there is help. There is help. Well, I remember going to a prayer service. This is how I got delivered. And I had been on drugs for about 10 years. And I went to a prayer service. I had moved from Toronto, Canada, down to Windsor, Ontario, Canada, where I still reside. And somebody invited me to go to a healing service. And this is how I know God is real, you guys. This is how I know that He will heal you too, if you want Him to. Anyways, so what I did is I went to this service, and I was having a lot of pain in my feet. I'd always had a lot of trouble with feet because back in the day, being in business, like you can see, I'm in my shop, but being in business for a long time, well, what happened was I was wearing the wrong kind of shoes. So I changed those up quick, but in the prayer service, I went up for healing on my feet. And it was a prophetic prayer service where the Holy Spirit was showing the prophets what was wrong with people. And she started praying for my feet. And guess what? The Holy Spirit directed her to my depression. And she got a hold of that thing. I was totally healed. And you know, there's healing that takes time. And then there's a miracle healing, which happened to me, and I was healed. On the way home that night, the Lord was saying to me, I want you to throw out your medication. Well, back then I was a single mom, and I didn't want to throw out my medication. I worked on commission, still do. I didn't have a store back then, but I did work in the direct sales industry, and I still do as well. You could do a multitude of things after your depression is gone, and also through it, because I did learn to work through it. Well, he told me, throw out your pills. And I'm like, no, I'm so scared to throw out my pills, because you see, I was so reliant on them that if I didn't take them, I was going to go crazy. I'm serious. And that's what these pills do to you. Well, I did obey, and I put them, probably wasn't supposed to, but I threw them down the toilet. Because back then, I knew that if I threw them in the garbage in the morning, I would go and I would pick them out and get them back. Well, guess what? I woke up in the morning thinking, I feel good. I can tell you what day it is. I knew my name. I was in the right mind. I was so excited that I was healed. I started calling my sister, my family, and telling them that God healed me from this depression. And that is what we call a miracle healing. And yes, it did try to come back. And yes, it will try to come back. But when you command it to stay away, guess what happens? It can't come back if you don't let it. It will not come back if you don't let it. So I'm here to tell you that there is healing for you. Do the things that you know to do. I'm not saying come off your medicine. No, no, no. I'm not saying that. That's what God told me. So I would like you to drop a comment and let me know if you're struggling, and we'll pray for you.